Okay. Hello, YouTube. This is subjective content speaking, Joey. And if it's not obvious, I am sick at home with the COVIDs. And I'm bored out of my mind, but I don't really feel well to do some of the other projects I'm working on. So I thought I would try a little React video of this one channel that's been on my radar for a while, called Weaponism. And it's a South Korean group who does like mixed martial arts tests and weapons from different schools, both Eastern and Europe. So I thought, hey, why the hell not throw my hat into the ring and do a React video on them, since every other historical YouTuber is doing it. Even though I'm not quite a historical YouTuber, but I am a historical fencer who plans on doing more historical fencing topics on this channel with Chase, particularly reconstructing Hylian martial arts as if they were actual, like, medieval historical martial arts. But I'm babbling, and I want to get this over with so I have some kind of content that's not just gameplay videos while I'm recovering from this goddamn sickness. Okay, so I just want to throw this out there that I don't know halberd. I haven't trained in it. What is that stance? I have not seen that. I'm only familiar with rapier. I've done some of the Italian gigante and bit of capoferro. But what I'm particularly interested in is like the German traditions, Meyer. I love me some Dusok. The Kriegsmesser used to be my favorite weapon, but now it's the Dusok. But anyway, I'm babbling while they're fighting, so let's actually rewind this. But just to get my in quotes credentials out of the way, I have some confidence with sword fighting, despite the fact that I'm a cripple. But I am not infallible, so I could say something that in my head sounds completely correct, but when it comes out of my mouth, it might be the dumbest shit you've ever heard. Please correct me, comment, call me an idiot, call me a dumb fuck, but as long as I can get to the truth, I am happy. So, this, I don't know this stance really, what he's doing with the hand there. Normally, well, I only have one arm, so well, one functional arm, so my bad arm is usually behind my back, and there's some mobility for grappling, but I just don't even bother. So any critiques I make of the offhand, just so you know, I may be talking out of my ass with that one, because I've only seen what people can do with the offhand. But that right there, what he's doing with his hand, that's what I would expect going up against a polearm, especially a halberd, because you need to get in there and you need to control that weapon, because if you can't do that, you're at such a gross disadvantage. The odds of you dying are near 90%. Alright, so got a cut on the arm and the head. And so obviously you're not gonna be able to block a strike like that under normal circumstances, and I'll get to what I'm thinking in a bit. But just leaving your sword out there for him to smack, that's asking for what's called a cavazione, and it's a disengage where you like roll your wrist around, and what that's going to do is that the force of the momentum of your enemy sword is going to follow through, allowing you to attack. So I'd like to see more, and I'm not sure exactly how possible that's going to be, and without being the one facing this guy. But that's a technique I would try, because you're gonna have to really emphasize lateral movement with that cavazione, which is hard because a lot of rapiers considered linear, but it doesn't have to be. And I cross-train with the longsword. Like, okay, right there, he could have, if he had his wrist up and his blade facing towards the enemy, which with the rapier, it's what you always want, he could have at least gotten a double. So wait, let me go back through and see what happened there. So, okay, did he actually smack it? Yeah, I think he did, but barely. Yeah, so he should never have lowered his tip. His tip should have been up the whole time, and that would have threatened the polearm user, and maybe would have stopped him from committing to that attack, maybe not. So that's something that, if these individuals were to try again and incorporate any critiques, I would like to see that. Alright. Okay, why would he do that? And okay, there are some examples and treatises where they go really, really, really low. I'll flash the images of the guards I'm talking about, because I am not fluid in the Italian and the Germans yet. But that is not the way to do it. Have all your I don't get what he was trying to go for there. Because that's leaving your entire body exposed. Because all the guy on the right has to do from there is thrust. He doesn't even have to do a cut and pull back like that. He just wasted an entire tempo where he could have just ended him rightly. Okay, so that, I don't think he has the range for that to. Hold on, let me see. So the polearm just goes under him. So yeah, that he did the right thing there, noticing that the polearm just barely did do anything. The problem is that was not the time to do a lateral step. Like everything that happened before now would have been good, but at that point he should have just lunged, did an advancing step or a gathering step, and just should have taken that, because halberd guy gave him that opening and he didn't take it. The technique that he was, I believe, trying to use is this one right here. The problem with that is it's a defense against a thrust against an equally sized weapon. So even if the halberdier was thrusting into him, he wouldn't have the range to dodge and then strike at the same time. That is telegraphed. So if I were rapier man, the big mistake is thinking that rapiers are a dainty or a weak, extremely agility based weapon, because they're strong and they can take a hit from heavier weapons with the right technique. So if he can step in there and parry with the forte, the strong part of his sword, and align his body so it's structurally is able to withstand that, then with that you can do a deflectional and then a cut. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense. I don't have anyone to record me doing the actions right now, so the reason you don't want to do like Olympic style techniques outside of that context is because their goal isn't to kill the enemy with yourself surviving. It's to get in a tag in a point as quickly as possible without any regard to your safety. So that's just something you don't want to do in the context of historical fencing. Okay, right there. That I don't know why halberd guy tried to do such a massive sweep, because you do not need a lot of energy to displace a rapier, especially with a polearm. Like, just a small twist of the hips would have done that, and he left himself wide open. So, rapierist, if he was German, he would go into a gathering step, and then from there thrust into the face or the neck. But what he did there, which is the modern Olympic long lunge, or whatever the hell they call it these days, he's just a little bit too short. Just out of measure. And he got bunked on the head. That was good. That right there, if what I'm thinking he did is he's using the rapier, the strong end of it, to displace that thrust. That is exactly what you want to be doing, but you need to follow it through. Like, you're gonna do that. See, as soon as you get contact, and oh no, he's pairing with the flat. If he had edge on, it actually move into a strategically promising place. He'd be poised for a strong hit, but he let his opportunity slide, which is I'm not trying to be really harsh on this guy. I made the same mistakes when I started, in absolutely no judgment pass, because going up against a halberd or a polearm with a rapier is highly intimidating. And honestly, I would probably make the same mistakes he's doing right now. I would just attempt what I think in theory is possible. Like the bind on the forte and the lateral steps. Like, right there, like, that's all well and good, but you started that movement well before he actually brought the weapon down, leading to you being hit because he's following your movement. Okay, yes, that's a lot of what you want to do. Is you want to... Was that a straight up cavazione, or is that just a happenstance? Yeah, that could have been a cavazione easily. All he had to do is, as soon as he dropped that tip and he reached this point right here, raise the tip in and thrust. And look how much time halberd guy is using to wind up and go into another hit. He definitely could have scored that. And a double. Though I don't... if these were real weapons and real blades, I don't think that would be a double. That would be a nick for the rapier guy, because he didn't step into it, or didn't look like there was any real force applied. Well, it looks like this is the end of the video, guys. So all in all, not bad. I mean, it is extremely hard. If I were to go up against this halberd guy, I would say I would win, if I'm lucky, 2 out of 10 times. And they're just so much more intimidating and an effective counter to rapier. But there are things that you can do. So I don't want people watching this video thinking, oh, look at the dainty rapier that it just can't handle or can't face up against a more meatier weapon. But in reality, with proper technique and just knowing what you're doing is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. But yeah, once again, if I came off too harsh, I apologize for that. I'm obviously not feeling the most articulate right now, but if you guys want me to do more analysis videos or start like doing my own HEMA shit, or WMA or whatever the hell you want, I will gladly do it because that's one of my passions. But I just want to congratulate both of these guys for giving each other the best fight they could, and that's the fun of it. At the time, it really does not matter if you win or lose as long as you're having fun. Because unlike 500 years ago, it's not life or death anymore. Don't sweat it.